Do you know, sometimes the contrast between light and dark, sometimes the contrast is so stark that you wonder how others can't see it, and indeed how they perceive the light as the dark and the dark as the light. But of course, that is the malignant influence of our mainstream media on people's perception of events. And that's what I want to talk about today. So, what is the light? Well, the light for me is, anybody who's standing up for freedom, and those who took the time yesterday to attend the freedom protest in central London. My heart goes out to you. My gratitude, my appreciation is more than you could ever know. You are a kindred spirit, all of you, for standing up for the right to be free for other people who will castigate you for it, for other people who will ostracize you for it, and for other people who will laugh at you for it, because they're so asleep, they're so programmed, they're so hypnotized by our mainstream media into believing something completely different. And those who chose to break the lockdown restrictions and to break rules that they deemed are immoral, that are morally corrupt, that was on them, that's on their conscience to do that. They decided to do that, and I applaud them for it. And what would the mainstream media like you to believe about what happened yesterday? They would like you to believe that it was a non-event. In fact, most mainstream media outlets haven't even mentioned it, haven't covered it. And those that have would like you to believe that there was just a small gathering of basket cases, nut jobs and conspiracy theorists, maybe totaling 5,000 to 10,000 people. Anyone with half a brain who has an ounce of capability for looking beyond what the mainstream media will tell them will see that's an absolute load of bollocks. Absolute rubbish. Go and have a look. It's pretty easy to find the footage from yesterday and ask yourself, were there 5,000 to 10,000 people there? Or maybe were there a hell of a lot more? Maybe times that figure by 10 or 100, maybe around 1 million. Anyway, it's abundantly clear to see there were not 5,000 to 10,000 protesters there. Now, I've attended the protest in Liverpool, and the way that the mainstream media, as I say, would like to portray the individuals who go on protest to stand up for the basic rights to be free and to stand up against tyranny. Conspiracy theorists? No. Nut jobs? No. Nice people? Yes. Intelligent people? Yes. Broad-minded people? Yes. Questioning people? Yes. Altruistic people? Yes. The best people in our world are the people who are doing something about our situation now, who are taking it upon themselves to look, to find out, and then to rail against the evil in our world and to stand up and to be the light against the darkness of our mainstream media. And talking about the mainstream media, here's another angle, another observation I want to make. We are now in a situation in the United Kingdom where we are in possibly the best place in the entire world with regard to the situation with coronavirus. And I think you all know what my views are on how we've responded as a society and as a world to the relatively minor threat of coronavirus. But let's look at the actual statistics, always good, and we can see plummeting infection levels, plummeting deaths. Loads of people have been vaccinated. You know what my views are on that as well. But they are the basic facts. We can look at the statistics pumped out by NHS England, Office of National Statistics, Public Health, and we can see that it is now a non-entity, a complete non-entity. So people are rightly asking questions about why now have we not had all of our freedoms returned? Why have all restrictions not been rolled back? The picture is a very, very rosy one with regard to the battle against coronavirus. There is no two ways of looking at it. Are our media advocating Are they advocating for a return to full freedoms? Are they challenging the government and asking, in line with, we will work with data, not dates? Why are they not asking, okay, the data is suggesting that we've won and that there is no threat anymore, a very, very minimal threat? Are they reporting on this good news? Well, what do you think? Of course they're not. What are they doing instead? Well, what we're seeing instead is very, very disturbing coverage about a situation that is taking place in India, whilst at the same time raising public awareness around an Indian variant. Just after a couple of weeks ago, it was all about the Brazilian variant and a lot of coverage about what was allegedly taking place in Brazil and Brazilian hospitals. Well, now at the same time they're talking about the situation, the alleged deteriorating situation in India, there's also the Indian variant as well. Now, you know, anybody with two brain cells to rub together by this point can predict exactly what's going to happen next. So put those two stories together and then try and conceive of what the powers that be are then going to decide to do next, because they are going to have to pull something massive out the bag now to justify another lockdown. But mark my words, they will try it. As anybody who's awake to in any way to what's been going on will also have made this connection and will have come to that conclusion as well. So what are our parasitic journalists who are absolute stains on humanity? What are they doing? Are they focusing on the good news pertinent to this country, or are they trying to find some bad news and increase the fear and find an angle where they can again bring about and inject a new strain of fear into the public consciousness about what's going on in India? Well, yeah. And I just want to say to the light and the dark, I've talked about the light. The darkness is powerful. It's not as powerful as the light, but it's powerful. And the light side needs to work so hard to eventually overcome the dark. And to anybody, any of you parasitic journalists who are an absolute cancer in our world, who dedicate your lives to spreading fear, to misinformation, whilst at the same time accusing those who are operating from a place of truth, of spreading information, who deal in lies and deception every single day. I hope you fucking rot in hell for all eternity for what you have done to this country. But here's the thing, you are not going to win. And you will pay for the evil that you have perpetrated, if not in this life, then in the next. And to all those who are on the light side, our numbers are growing. This is a battle. And yesterday filled me with optimism and hope, because I've been pretty down lately. So thanks for that. Thanks for giving me that hope. Thanks for letting me know that I'm not alone and that the light is shining brightly against the darkness that is threatening to envelop this world. So there we go, light and dark. Okay, if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe to The Imperfect Individual, and I will speak to you all very soon. Bye bye.